good morning. This is the Talk of the Town. I'm Faraz, and on the other side by telephone is the head of Sri Lanka's Army, General Shavendra Silva. Very good morning to you, General.
Good morning to you, Faraz.
Now then, how are we doing in terms of the COVID? We have various sort of stories, if you like, including the Ukrainian trial tourism that has sort of started, and the almost perennial problem of accommodating and finding places for the returning expatriate workers from all over the world. So, General Silva, how are we doing?
Of course, you have posed few questions to me. Let me start off with, first of all, in regard to the situation. Of course, we have found that during the month of December that we had the highest number of reporting for a day of COVID patients, and we found that as average it was beyond 600 all the time, every day average. So that is where we were, but beginning of this month we find that it's somewhere around 500 or certain days it's less. So this is where we stand. Colombo Municipal Council area was the worst at the beginning on this second wave, and as a whole it was Western Province, Colombo, then Kampah and Kalutara. Right. So Colombo, if I talk about Colombo CMC area was fairly controlled from that October 4th to now. We have brought down, and we had a fair amount of police stations and Gramanildar divisions were isolated. Even we had quarantine curfew enforced at the beginning. So there is no curfew in the country anywhere. Isolation also, the strategy initially was to get police areas or the district or the townships isolated. It was brought down slowly to the Gramanildar divisions. Now it is being brought down, like as of this morning at 5 a.m. Right. We isolated in Modara police area, St. Andrews Road, St. Andrews Upper and St. Andrews Lower roads were isolated. So we have gone down to like roads now, right, and say streets. So we are trying to bring the areas as small as possible for the convenience of the people, just without getting isolated the entire area. Okay. As you know that in Colombo, there were lots of flats that we isolated during the past, even for almost 2 months, certain flats closed, isolated. So we have basically removed all such flats, and yesterday was the last one, NHS flats. That was also isolation was removed yesterday. Yeah. So the reasons, of course, as you know, it's common language that everybody understands, that people are living together, a very close vicinity, they mix up together. Mm-hmm. So these are the issues. Mm-hmm. But I was talking about Colombo. Then in regard to Kalutara, we had the biggest issue was Ataluagama village. Right. They never had discipline there. They never cooperated with the health sector. Mm-hmm. When we started off with 4 patients, in fact, I warned them that if they don't do that, they will have their number. It had gone past 900. So that was very pathetic. Totally the responsibility of the people of Fatalogama, their behavior, and not cooperating, not allowing health sector even to enter and things like that. So that was Kalutara. Kampah, of course, we have taken under control, but on and off, you see, we are on a new normalcy system that adapting. Thereby, we have few cases coming up in Western Province, the Kampah district. But other than that, as of now, we find certain places like Kandy, we have few numbers. Now, even yesterday, we had in an apparel company in Kundasali, we had 24. Right. And also, we have something in and around Ratnapura, where Sitavaka free trade zone, we had an issue in an apparel industry. In the apparel industry, those people are living in suburb villages, and that there has a problem where we had to isolate Avisavilla, Ruanvella, and these areas. But yesterday, we removed isolation of Avisavilla, and most likely today might consider of lifting isolation in Ruanvella too. So that is that area. Then,
and sorry, Commander, can I ask you about how this bubble to do with the trial tourism from the Ukraine is doing?
Yes.
How is that going to work?
No, it was actually a pilot project that was discussed, organized to bring from abroad for tourism, and the bubble to operate in a bubble from 28th of last month till 19th as a pilot project. Right. So the pilot project was discussed, briefed. It was discussed to be brought to about 11 hotels. Hotels were identified, and hotel staff was well briefed that none of them can go home during this period. Even after the foreigners leave, they'll have to get quarantine for another 14 days, and then only they'll be secure to go home. So even the driver to anyone got involved with these foreigners will have have to be isolated. So that was the policy.
Right.
So in that regard, we brought as a bubble. Now, some people, those who are really not aware of this, the way that a bubble is operating, at times complain that these people were seen without a mask and various stories.
Yeah.
Now, whether they are with a mask or not inside a hotel or when they are traveling outside, maybe like then to Yala, now it's open air, but they are with a group of people. No Sri Lankan outsider is there. There is no way that this can transmit to another person.
Okay.
That is the simplest reason that the drivers who even protested that they were taken to quarantine by the military. Yes, we had to do that because they have not adhered to the instructions and used their PP kit or the face mask or anything. So thereby, we felt that there's a bit of a danger, although these people have been found negative, but you can't ever say 100% because PCR has some accuracy also. And thereby, we had to basically quarantine those drivers. So that was an issue that we had a bit of a protest, but we never came down of those requests. We were very firm of what we have said, and anyone who get in touch without the proper gear will be quarantined. So that is how we did that. So it's a bubble is operating right now. Inside the hotel, they are like that. We are planning to, actually it was planning to take them as a bubble to now say they went to see whales watching. Okay. So those who were taken by boats, they went and saw as a bubble. They went and saw, they came back. The operators are kept in quarantine, you see.
I see.
So that is how, so that there won't be any mix up with the society. So we are trying to prevent any leak going to the society by this bringing of foreigners.
There was some concern that some of these people, the operators, were not sort of known to the tourist board.
Yeah, because it had been told by the tourist board, it's like that. But tourist board has organized, according to the tourist board, they have organized a group of people, and they say that it was not the group that ultimately took. Okay? But irrespective of who took, for us, whoever who went will be quarantined. That's the policy. You see? So this thing is, we are concerned about the people of Sri Lanka.
I see.
So it is who took or who did not take or who was organized, and that is actually it should happen like that. But when we see a leak there, that we have taken the precautionary measure in regard to the people of the country.
And how's the preparation going to receiving the vaccines now that they probably start rolling out soon?
Yeah, the vaccine, of course, principally the government of Sri Lanka has agreed that we should vaccine the population. Now, out of our population, we find something like 37% is in the below the age group of 25. Okay? And they are not vulnerable group. Okay. The vulnerable group is beyond that. However, we have identified the people in each age group. Okay. And normally the children are not being vaccinated, and people, those ladies who are pregnant and various certain other illnesses are not being considered for this vaccine. So when you consider even say below 25 and this 63%, from that the World Health Organization, under a scheme called COVAX, they have agreed for 92 countries, the middle and low income countries, they are giving 20% of the population free. In that, only 2 countries from this region will be accommodated. So we have principally agreed. His Excellency the President has given the consent to vaccine. So we have given our consent that we are willing to do that. So we are making all types of preparations. Now, there are various type of vaccine in the world, but we identify like 4-5. You see, people are talking of Pfizer vaccine. It's about something like 6,700 rupees a vaccine, a vaccine alone. Then it has to be kept under minus 70 degrees, you see.
So we don't have that facility.
We not that we can't. There's nothing impossible. We can make it. So we can do that, but a lot of constraints because every vaccine packet comes with about 985 packets. When you remove that, how long that you can keep, and a lot of logistics issues are there with that type of a vaccine. So we have looked at vaccines, that there are vaccines that you can keep with 2 to 8 centigrades also. So which is like we could do that in our country easily. But the president has informed to give the best vaccine, okay, to the population. So with the quality versus the logistics and the infrastructure, everything will decide. And most likely, we believe that we will be able to get the first set of vaccine by March, first week of March or so. I think we should be able to get the vaccine.
Wonderful. And are we going to be getting some vaccine from China as well?
Still not decided which country, from which company we are going to bring that. Right now, this is the health thing. Health experts will decide what is the most suitable vaccine as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. When they recommend, we have a committee with the leadership of the principal staff officer, the principal advice of His Excellency the President Ms. Lalit Veeratunga. I'm also in that committee. So we will decide once the health is given their recommendations.
Wonderful for that great roundup, General Shavendra Silva. And we wish you all the very best in your efforts to contain the pandemic. And have a great day, General Shavendra. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Faraz. Thank you. All the best to you.